tell me a little bit, in your opinion, how countries can accelerate implementation of the SDGs, and specifically, what does SDG 5 look like in that acceleration?
Great, thank you very much. Well, I mean, the SDG framework, and we've got all the SDGs up there, is a frame that we sit with government to look to see how we're going to plan. And it really is about us sitting with these countries to see where the gaps are. Where does gender goal 5 come in? It comes in because we are so concerned about the inequalities, the root causes of them, that the fact that the gender goal of 5 links to all other 16. So where are we putting in the rule of law, justice, and ensuring that the enabling environment is there institutionally? How are we addressing gender as it relates to health, as it relates to education, access to water, and many of these issues are unfinished from the MDGs, but they're much more central now in the new way in which we address the economy and the environment. So it's us at the center, but it is not in a silo. It really is a collaboration and an investment across sectors.
Thank you. So in Africa, the thematic focus for Spotlight is sexual and gender-based violence, sexual and reproductive health and rights, and harmful practices. Tell me a little bit about the impetus for those intersections and how Spotlight will leverage national ownership and sustainability, particularly in the Africa region.
With Spotlight, we've gone across the regions as we've looked at the issues that are specific. Spotlight didn't start today. In fact, many initiatives are what Spotlight is building on. And for Africa, these are particularly protracted issues where patriarchy really undermines any progress that has been made there. And so we are addressing issues that communities and that women find are a priority. We're looking to see how we can find that representation to sit with us and design the programs. Spotlight allows us to get to the scale. It allows us to look at those issues around norms, traditional practices, and it also allows us to align that with what we're doing in government to bring the laws about that can protect and help to bring the, what would we say, that you can, that in fact, when you've addressed what you're doing at the community level, how does it become a deterrent not to sustain that, and that it ends, and violence ends, harmful practices end, how sustainable is that? It also, Spotlight's not acting again in a silo. It is looking at how we can sustain this. Once we have managed to get to a zero, the empowerment of women is going to be critical here, and that is from education to finding a place in the economy and so forth.
So last week, a historic resolution passed on UN Development System Reform. Congratulations on that, blood, sweat, and tears. Why is this resolution important, and how does it relate to the SDGs and specifically to Spotlight?
Well, for a good 15 years, we were implementing the MDGs, and we were structured that way. So what member states asked us to do was to bring recommendations on how we could be fit for purpose to deliver on the SDGs. And fundamentally, it's about what we do with our multilateral footprint in countries, which is headed up by a resident coordinator and a country team, and how we look at that in principle to bring what we need in terms of the expertise, the partnerships to deliver on the SDGs. And that's what the reform is going to be about, the empowerment of that RC that can coordinate a team that is responsive and needed in the country to fill gaps, that also brings in partnerships in business, for civil society in a different way, for academia, and essentially about doing these things together. This is where we will get further.